Hey, it's your boy, the Ranter, and today we're going to be talking about something that I stumbled across recently on Instagram. His name is Spinosaurus the King, and he has somehow a decently sized fan base of about 2,000 to 1,000 followers, depending on which social media platform you use. And he posts some very absurd things, so I kind of wanted to talk about that. I'm going to start looking at his YouTube channel where he posts some incredible bangers. This is a Jurassic Park 3 edit, so let's look at it.
What was that?
Spinosaurus.
I don't think so. It sounds
Smaller.
Now, I'm not the king of editing, I understand that, but this is put together like those small little child Legos, not the normal kind of Legos. You know those big ones? I think they're called like Duplos or something. This is put together like one of those. It takes about 2 seconds to do it. It is just lazy as all hell.
the other guy.
Cooper's a professional, he can
Yet again, what the fuck is this editing?
Stop! What are you doing? That's Cooper! Stop. Get out the way. No one can stop this plane.
And that's where the video ends. There wasn't a T-Rex that came out and got Cooper, and we all know that he couldn't have, and if he even tried, it probably would have been atrocious, but, you know, at the same time, that leads to the question, why even make the video? You just essentially replaced a few lines of dialogue in the Spinosaurus roars with the T-Rex roars. I don't see the point in it besides the fact T-Rex, Spinosaurus, Swappy Doppy. It's, I don't get it. I don't get why this video was made. I guess for the amusement, but at the same time, what amusement do you have looking at this? Anyway, next video. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this video play for a few minutes, and I'm just going to kind of let you guys endure what I've seen. It's pretty freaking stupid, and when I find there is a good point to stop, I will stop the recording, and I will give my thoughts.
Dear Colin Trevorrow, today I will be giving you all my reasons why it's a bad idea to change the design of the Spinosaurus if you decide to bring it back to Jurassic World Dominion. First of all, the reconstruction in 2014 is complete bullshit in my opinion. Nazar Ibrahim has no evidence of the Spinosaurus being quadruple at all. In 2008, paleontologists discovered almost a full Spinosaurus skeleton, and it measured around 18 meters in length. It had 7 to 8 foot forearms that are really big, with massive claws and a giant snout, and it was 9 meters tall at the top of the sail. There's even a few really good documentaries of it in Planet Dinosaur, and also the Monsters Resurrected Spinosaurus episode documentary. Also, I have some more evidence on how the Spinosaurus having tiny legs is not realistic. How can tiny legs hold a 22-ton, 18-meter long carnivore dinosaur? They already discovered a Spino in 2008 with long legs, so how is that even possible? You can't just reconstruct a dinosaur in 2014. It makes no sense with the short legs, because we already discovered it with big legs in 2008, so it doesn't make any sense. So, in my opinion, the reason why Nazar Ibrahim did this reconstruction back in 2014 is to please the Spinoators and the Tyrannosaurus Rex fans due to what happened in Jurassic Park 3. And for the people who say Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 is a genetically modified hybrid, no offense, but you're a complete fool if you think that. Because the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 was very accurate to the real-life Spinosaurus, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not just going to say it because I'm a Spinosaurus fanboy, I'm going to give you actual evidence on how the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3 was very accurate to the real-life Spinosaurus.
So to the boys who passed out due to stupidity, I'm sorry, we'll miss you, but to the boys who are still here with me, let's keep going. So he says there was a Spinosaurus found in 2008. There was none, at least to what I can find. I don't think that there was. If there was, either Wikipedia is wrong or just the articles won't come up for me, but I'm pretty sure there was no specimen found in 2008. Also, I don't think there was anything close to this big of a reconstruction found to what he's saying. There have been more than fragmentary skeletons found of Spinosaurus, but nothing to what he is saying. There has not been an almost complete skeleton ever found. That's just false. He also states that the monsters resurrected and the planet dinosaur models of Spinosaurus were accurate, which is also not true whatsoever. They were both thought to be accurate at the time, well, maybe not the monster reconstructed one, but the planet dinosaur one at least was thought to be accurate, but we now know a little bit more about Spinosaurus, to which shows a very, very different picture. He also states that the quadruped Spinosaurus is false, and that's about the only thing he gets right. But he's presenting this as if it's new information, like, guys, did you know? The four-legged Spinosaurus, it's not accurate. It actually walks on two legs. This is not new information. We've known this for quite a while. We've known Spinosaurus was a biped since probably about 2018 was when it really hit widespread, and we realized the 2014 reconstruction was completely false. We now know that it was lower to the ground than we thought, but it still was a biped. It was pretty bulky, not bulky like T-Rex bulky, but it was decently bulky, and it had a sail going from the base of its neck about all the way to the tip of its tail, pretty much. And these were actually its spinal cords. That's pretty much what we think of Spinosaurus now. That has changed. So, you're getting this completely wrong. Spinosaurus was not known to be this vicious monster. It was known more to be a small creature. Well, not small, but short, I should say. And nothing compared to the JP3 monster reconstructed or planet dinosaur models whatsoever.
Here's my evidence right now. So, the only two ways that the Spinosaurus was not accurate in Jurassic Park 3 is it had the wrong crescent on its head. Like, it had crescents that kind of looked like Allosaurus crescents, which is, but don't forget, back in 2001, they didn't exactly know how the Spinosaurus looked because they only had a few fossils, so that was part of the problem. They didn't make a full discovery. Well, not a full discovery, but they made almost a full discovery of this dinosaur back in 2008, just to let you guys know. And the other problem with the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3, it was not big enough. It wasn't fully grown. The Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 was around 13 meters long, and the reason why they made it that big is because back in 2001, they didn't know how big the Spinosaurus was when fully grown, so they took an estimate of, making it the exact same size as a Tyrannosaurus Rex in real life, because they didn't know exactly how much bigger it was than T-Rex.
Depending on how you see it, T-Rex was actually larger. T-Rex weighed a lot more. It was a much more bulkier animal, being around 8 tons, and Spino being around 6 tons. T-Rex was usually the larger creature, and most people would determine T-Rex to be the biggest theropod due to its weight. Lengthwise, Spino kills it. I'm pretty sure it was around 55 to 60 feet long, although that's a rough estimate, don't quote me on that. And T-Rex was around 40 to 50 feet long, so it was close but not exactly as long. Spino was longer. That is about the only thing Spinosaurus has over T-Rex. It was shorter, it was not as heavy, it didn't really compare to T-Rex. T-Rex was usually the larger animal in most scenarios, and there is only one, which is length, to which it can be determined to be the larger carnivore.
They didn't really know it was bigger than T-Rex back then, to be honest with you guys.
In fact, what he's saying is the complete opposite, since back then we didn't know it was as short. Back then, we might have known its weight back then. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but back then we didn't know that it was short. We thought it was a more bipedal creature, and it was bipedal, don't get me wrong, but we thought it was taller than it was. It had a more T-Rex stance back then, and we actually now know that it was a lot shorter. So in fact, it's actually quite the opposite. We had more lifting towards Spinosaurus being the bigger predator back then than we did in now. We knew back then it was a larger predator, but now we know it was a shorter one than T-Rex.
But besides that, guys, the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 was accurate. It was very accurate.
So I'm not 100% sure of what he's exactly saying. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but it seems like he thinks that the Spinosaurus from JP3 is an accurate-looking Spinosaurus, which is just not true at all. The Spinosaurus in that film is not accurate to how we know it now. It was accurate to how we knew it back then, to an extent. It was like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park to what they knew T-Rex looked like back then. It was pretty accurate. There were a few inaccuracies here and there, but it looked pretty decent. Spinosaurus was the same in JP3. It looked kind of like we knew it back then. It had a few differences, but it looked close enough, essentially. But now we know it to look something completely different. The JP3 Spinosaurus is not accurate in the slightest now.
Honestly, if you don't think it's accurate, you're clearly just a Spinosaurus hater or a Tyrannosaurus Rex fanboy, and I'm sorry to say this, but it is true.
Just blaming someone you don't like for something is one of the stupidest things you could ever say. You don't have any proof that we are Spinosaurus haters or T-Rex fanboys whatsoever. It's like a Karen calling a store manager Hitler because they don't want to wear a mask. Like, it's stupid. For one thing, I actually do like the Spinosaurus. I'm a very, very big fan of it. And you want to know some very cold, hard truth here? I actually do like the design in JP3 more than the reconstruction. But hear me out here. Don't go to your keyboards. That does not mean that I completely denounce the existence of it, and I think that it is absolute garbage. The new design of Spinosaurus, well, I shouldn't even say design. What we now know looks like Spinosaurus. What we think Spinosaurus looks like now, shit, man, is, I think it's fine. Why should I not think it's fine? It's real life, that's what we knew it to look like, and hell, it might change in the future. I think it looks pretty cool. I do like the little sail that goes down his back, but I do like how the JP3 Spinosaurus looks. I think it looks pretty sick. I think it looks pretty freaking epic, if I have to be honest with you. But does that mean I completely denounce the 2020 reconstruction? No, I don't.
So anyways, listen, Colin Trevorrow, please, if you decide to bring back the Spinosaurus in Jurassic World Dominion, please keep it the same design as Jurassic Park 3, and if you want to change the design, just please either use the Planet Dinosaur design or the Monsters Resurrection one, but like I said, the JP3 design is the best one, just make it bigger, and maybe change the crescent if you want.
Yet again, the monster reconstructed design as well as the Planet Dinosaur design are completely inaccurate, so Colin, if you somehow come across this video, I doubt you will, don't use them. In fact, however, I will agree with him on one thing. If you decide to bring it back in Jurassic World Dominion, for continuity's sake, the JP3 Spinosaurus would be the best one to go for. Plus, that is a pretty cool Spino design, I have to say. But anyway, my point is, this guy is completely wrong throughout his entire video. He has no idea of what he's talking about, and it just comes across as stupid. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to be done here. He also has an Instagram, but I'm not going to look at that because, in my opinion, his YouTube is a lot worse. He has also somehow quite a big following. He's even followed by Clayton Fiordi. I hope I pronounced that right. He is a Jurassic Park YouTuber to anyone who doesn't know, and he actually is quite a big one at that. He almost has, last time I checked, like 200,000 subscribers, but that number could be bigger. But anyway, I don't get why he follows him. This Spinosaurus dude is very obviously ripping off Clayton Fiordi, so I'm not sure. Maybe he is endorsing it. I don't know. Anyway, Clayton, if you're watching this video, man, you might want to rethink your decision because he's quite a lunatic, I have to say. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. And remember, fuck Bioniclesaurus.